Hello, you're listening to Count Richard Von Coudenhove kalergi. Today's Friday, the 23rd of November, and here's a couple of my comments since my last video. The secret of freedom lies in educating people, whereas the secret of tyranny is keeping them ignorant. This is a quote from Robespierre, who was on the 24th of July 1794 executed by guillotine in the same revolution that he had helped start. Austria, USA, Australia, Poland, Hungary, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Switzerland, Croatia, Israel and Belgium are the number of the growing list of countries that are refusing to sign the UN-pushed Global Compact on Migration, one of the most dangerous documents ever put forward by this corrupt organisation. And those that never believed in conspiracies, here's your proof. The Irish government, by its absolute silence, is a willing participant in this universal tyranny. This document will legalise illegal migration and guarantee the same rights to migrants as ordinary citizens, and will act as a magnet attracting people from the Third World and predominantly Muslim countries into Europe and other Western countries. Philippe de Winter, a member of the Belgian Federal Parliament, said that European countries must absolutely say no to this declaration that only imposes obligations on most countries, making it impossible to apply any restrictive policies. George Mouton, co-chairman of the ADF, said that the pact would be morally binding if not immediately legal. Even within Merkel's own CDU party, there are reservations, with Jens Spahn, health minister who is expected to take over after Merkel steps down, has suggested that Germans should not sign. The CDU deputy leader, who is opposed to the pact, said that throughout the entire document there is a stance that sees migration as something moral and even desirable. The Czech president Milo Zeman said that the lack of difference between legal and illegal migration is something that can easily be abused. The ADF leader Alice Weidel, who was also against the pact, said that on Wednesday in the Bundestag, every year we spend money on the fight against the rise of the right, even though women and girls are afraid to walk the streets alone for fear of attacks by the so-called seekers of protection. As more and more countries refuse to sign, President of the European Commission Jean-Claude Juncker has said that migration is inevitable, necessary and desirable. Could the nail in the coffin actually come from Hillary Clinton, who said that Europe must cut immigration in order to cut the rise of populist or right-wing parties? I never thought I would see the day that I would actually agree with a Clinton. In other European issues, starting with that canary in the coal mine, Sweden, an interesting analysis of the September elections revealed that 75% of the vote of the Swedish Democrats, the Nationalist Party, came from men, while 25% of the votes came from women. The reverse is with the Green Party, where 75% of the vote were women and 25% of the men. There has been an explosion within the last couple of months taking place, 6 explosions in the last month taking place, 3 of them taking place in Malmo, ranging from attacks on apartments, a school, a restaurant and a gym. There has been a surge in the number of sexual assaults, with the Swedish Crime Statistics Agency reporting that the number of women aged between 18 and 84 who have experienced and reported some sort of sexual assault has risen to 67% within the last year. In Germany, a 20-year-old Afghan asylum seeker has murdered an 85-year-old pensioner by slitting his throat while he slept. Refused asylum in Saxon, he was given a job caring for the victim by his daughter, who was a refugee helper. He was arrested trying to cross the border into Denmark. Maison Sans Frontier have been accused of dumping medical and chemical waste from their ship, the Aquarius, the €400,000 a month sponsored ship now held in the port of Marseille, while docking in Italy, Italian ports, dropping off its 21,326 migrants. With a capacity close to 500 or more migrants, this would equate to over 44 dockings. It has also been revealed that, although not mentioned by RTE, that over 5,100 had been found to have carried infectious diseases including AIDS, scabies, tuberculosis and meningitis. With new arrivals flooding Ireland recently, how many of them have been checked, considering the cost of AIDS treatment alone can be up to €25,000 per year per person. Meanwhile, in domestic issues, it has been revealed that even the ex-ministers are getting in on direct provision scam, with John O'Donoghue earning up to €79,000 since 2015, dealing with asylum applicants, earning €615 per applicant, €350 per spouse, and €95 per dependent. You'll be glad to know that this includes a written report. He has made €26,275 this year so far, which isn't over yet, and that's on top of his salary his pension of €119,000 per year. With two meetings held about direct provision, one in Moville, which was recorded by a YouTube poster, Conan Mack and Gerard Murphy, where the founder of the Irish Refugee Council back in 1992, Brian Flanagan, who said that he was driven out by people like you doing what you guys are doing, imposing on the Irish nation and imposing on this community. Does the local community have any rights? It is his belief that Brussels are dead set on destroying the community, nationalism and faith. That was in Moville. In another public meeting held in Wicklow, recorded by Gran Torino, the sense of anger by the community was very much visible, with many voicing concerns regarding safety and already overstretched resources. I found it extraordinary that none of the public representatives knew that since 2015, when Labour Minister Alan Kelly was Minister for the Environment, it is no longer a requirement to apply for planning permission to change the use of a hotel to a direct provision centre. This gives the government the opportunity to spring this on communities by stealth, without giving adequate time for people to organise opposition. It is believed that the 24 single men who are already there, and it is alleged that one female employee who has already been exposed to. This week, Gemma O'Doherty's Twitter page and Facebook page have included the Global Compact on Migration. Hopefully this will get more information out. On Wednesday, I rang the Department of Foreign Affairs yet again regarding the government's views on this, and was told I would be sent an email. I'm still waiting for a response and an email from the one I sent last Monday. Creepy picture of the week has to be a picture of Leo Varadkar, Catherine Zappone and the Minister for Health holding a baby all in the one spot. That one really gave me shudders. In another incident down in Cork, there was an attempted abduction of two 12-year-old girls by five men walking behind them who were whistling at them and blowing kisses. A car actually pulled over and a man got out and blocked their way, and thankfully to the intervention of a man who was driving by in a white van, he was able to see what was happening, blocked the car in, and the girls ran to a nearby Lidl where they got in touch with their parents. Strange enough, they actually, instead of guards actually arriving, they had to go down to their local station later on that evening and make a complaint. Well, they're just a couple of thoughts of my own. I noticed I have a couple of new subscribers this week. Thanks very much for subscribing. Look forward to your comments. Thanks for listening, and bye-bye.